Still haven't learned, have you, Stevens?
We're really wasting our energies. I think we work much better together. Agreed?
With a 60-40 cut in my favour.
Let this unbroken circle be a symbol of our everlasting love for each other.
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Arthur Charlton? I don't know anyone called Arthur. He didn't say anything else, did he, Miss Tim?
No, just that it was important. Well, it better bloody be, because I'm missing a good turn out there. Mrs. Birdsworth, Mr. Charlton?
Not one of those bloody reporters, are you?
No, Mrs. Birdsworth. You are Elizabeth Josephine Birdsworth?
Yeah, why?
Well, this may come as a bit of a shock to you, but I'm your son.
Oh. I don't believe it. Is it true?
Yes, Mum.
Oh, yes. I can see it now. All these years, I didn't know whether you were alive or dead. Look at you. You look really good. You've done all right for yourself, eh, son? You're a credit to the name of Birdsworth.
My name's Charlton now, Mum. I was adopted. They were very nice people. They treated me just like their own son.
Fair enough. How'd you find me, anyway?
Jigsaw. It's an organisation that helps people find missing relatives.
Oh, lad, you wish you'd never bothered when you found out your old mum was a jailbird.
That's not true, Mum. I was just glad you were alive.
Look, Arthur, I know you must be ashamed of me, but when they first put me in the stir, I didn't do it. I was innocent. I just wanted you to know.
I know, Mum. We found each other now, and that's all that matters as far as I'm concerned.
Donovan and Mitchell on remand.
Right.
And the best of luck.
Thank you.
So this is Wentworth. Doesn't look so big time to me.
Donovan.
Yes, dear, that's me.
Yeah, age before beauty. I don't want to get too close to no mouldy oldies.
I'll take you first, Donovan. Which is your bag?
The carpet bag, dear. Just a few face creams to keep me in shape.
You ought to ask for your money back. They're not working.
You are a very rude child, and a good slap on the bottom wouldn't go astray, so don't tempt me.
Yeah, I'd like to see you try it, you old bag.
You see what I mean? They've kept this up all the way here.
That's enough. Donovan, stand on the line, please.
Certainly, dear. Pay no attention to our young friend. I'm afraid she's got the manners of a gutter snipe.
You are Minerva Edith Donovan, and you're charged with conspiring to commit theft.
Yes, dear, that's right. But I prefer Minnie, if you don't mind.
Minerva! You ought to be joking. I reckon they ought to keep you in a bloody museum.
All right, that's enough. You've had your say, Mitchell. Now I'll have mine. You'll stand over there until it's your turn to be inducted. Then you'll both shower and go to your cells, where you can argue all you want to.
But I didn't
No buts, Mitchell. This is a prison, and you will do as you're told. And the recreation room is down the end of the corridor and turn left. Oh, and you have 10 minutes to make your beds and put your things away, and then I'll come back and take you to see Mrs. Reynolds, the governor.
Terrific.
Mrs. Reynolds? That wouldn't be Mrs. Ann Reynolds, who used to be with Child Welfare.
Yes, I believe she was.
What a coincidence. I heard she joined the prison service.
Now, make sure you read all of this. You're expected to know all the rules, and they're all in here.
Haven't you got any comics?
Remember, you've got 10 minutes.
Well, it's a little bleak.
But I'm sure we can fix it up. I'll take this bit if you don't mind.
Suit yourself, Granny. I can flop anywhere.
You're not planning to smoke that in here, are you?
Nah, I was planning to pick me nose with it.
You have 5 minutes to make your bed, young lady. Start now.
Hey, watch it, Granny.
Now listen to me. First, you will not call me Granny, understand? Second, if you and I are going to live in this little room together, there are a few things we may as well get straightened out right now, starting with your manners.
Oh, come on, Leanne. It's not fair. I've missed that movie every time it's been on the TV.
Told you it's lousy. Yeah, the other one's got vampires and things.
Oh, but I don't want to see it. Oh, Wally, you tell her.
Oh, no, leave me out of it. If you want something to do, you can help me here. Otherwise, forget the TV and read a book.
Oh, it's all right for you. You don't like the telly.
You're wrong there. I'm a Bugs Bunny addict. Now let a fella do some work.
Not bloody fair.
I notice no one's bothered to set the table for dinner. And what's not fair, Jody?
Ah, she's just carrying on. This is my turn with the TV, and I want to watch Dracula's Last Rites. It's a late movie.
Oh, really? Well, in future, there's no need for argument because the television set will be switched off at 10 o'clock sharp.
Oh, what? You got to be kidding.
Not at all. 10 o'clock is quite late enough for anyone to be up. No, I shall personally see the set is switched off and the front door is bolted. Is that clear?
Well, we've always stayed up as late as we like.
Well, I would suggest if you wish to continue doing so, you move elsewhere. If you stay here, you obey the rules.
Ollie, please. Talk some sense to her.
That'll do, Leanne. Mr. Wallace is employed here. It's not up to him to countermand my orders, and I would thank you to remember that in future. And table?
She thinks she's in the bloody army.
Yeah, just ride with her a bit longer. Maybe she's just settling in, you know?
Well, does that mean that you won't help us?
It means I can't, Jody. She's the boss.
Thanks a heap. For nothing.
And if you have any problems, you can always ask to see me. That's what I'm here for. Any questions, Mitchell?
Yeah, who'd you have to kill to get something to eat around here?
The evening bell will be going at any moment. Mrs. Barry, would you wait outside with Mitchell while I talk to Donovan, please?
Certainly, Governor. Come along, Mitchell.
It's good to see you, Minnie. Oh, I'm sorry it had to be in here.
Temporary measure, Mrs. Reynolds. I've been in worse spots than this, and with worse company.
No, let me assure you, they're not all like her.
Oh, don't worry about young Bobbie. I'll soon whip her into shape.
Yes, that's a thought. We don't usually put remand prisoners in together, except when we're crowded. But to be honest, I think you could do young Mitchell some good. Sit down.
Thank you.
Now, how have you been? You haven't changed a bit.
Neither of you, Mrs. Reynolds. Oh, I've been really well. My babies have taken great care of me.
Yes, I often think of them. I wish I could have done more good for them when they were young. I think the department was very unfair not granting you foster parent status. I've always said that. Those children would have been in state homes if it hadn't been for you.
I know you did the best you could, Mrs. Reynolds. Well, I couldn't turn them away. Poor little waifs. Most of them had no one, and, well, I enjoyed being Auntie Min.
And they're all grown up now?
The first lot. David's a medical student. Sharon's a hairdresser. Kylie, oh, such a pretty little thing. She's a receptionist. And Kevin's a mechanic. And Terry's... Well, Terry's done well, too.
You must be very proud of them.
I'm proud of all my babies. The first lot and all the ones I've looked after since. And not one of them's ever been in trouble with the police.
That's amazing. You taught them to run fast, obviously.
You know me too well, Mrs. Reynolds.
Well, I thought I did. But then I read the police reports about you organising the largest shoplifting gang in the state. That doesn't sound like the Minnie Donovan I knew.
Everyone's got to make a living. doing what they do best. And if I do say so myself, my gang's the best there is.
Well, I'll let you get to your meal. And remember, if there's anything I can do...
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Look, I wonder if I could have my face creams back. I like to keep myself in shape. Oh, and when I get myself organised, drop in for a cup of tea. I'm sure you know where it is. Well, my dear, I knew she wasn't ready, but she was so keen on to go on a job that I didn't have the heart to refuse.
She got caught?
My word, she did, and sent the police straight to me. Amateurs, they'll get you every time. Now, Lizzie, tell me all about your dad.
Who's the wrinklies?
Lizzie Birdsworth, one of the permanent fixtures around here.
You want a game of cards?
No thanks.
And I reckon I've been in here longer than all the rest of them put together.
Haven't you ever had any life outside?
Of course I have. Only I always come back in.
That's terrible. Pixie tells me that half the women in here have been in before. You'd think they'd have learned not to come back.
Yeah, well, maybe they was unlucky. Like me. 15 times I nicked tapes in that shop. How was I to know the old bastard had me picked? And I hardly laid a finger on him before he started yelling murder. Salt my ass.
You have a charming turn of phrase, Bobbie.
Hey, that's my fag.
Not anymore, it's not.
Give it back, you cheeky little bugger.
Get knotted.
Is that Lizzie's smoke?
So what? It's only a lousy fag.
Then you can just roll Lizzie another from your own tobacco.
And supposing I don't?
I didn't hear that, Bobbie. For your sake, I didn't hear it.
Bloody hell. What's the big hassle? Okay, she can have it back.
Thank you, love.
I'll see she pays you back, Lizzie.
You know, she reminds me of someone, but I can't think of who.
Go on. I spotted it straight away. She's a bit like our little Maxie. God love her.
So she is.
Lizzie, if I wanted to know all about Wentworth, you'd be the one to put me straight, wouldn't you?
You bet I would. I tell you the ones to steer away from, starting with Madam over there. She's a bad lot. You just ask me anything you want to know. Only I reckon we'll be up all night.
Well, if nobody else wants to cry on my shoulder, I'll be off.
So long, Walt. Bye. Sure you don't want to stay for the movie?
No, thanks, and you better look at the clock before you get too settled. I'll get it. Well, I've got to open the door to get out, don't I?
Oh, well.
Chilly. What the hell are you doing here at this time of night?
I had nowhere else to go. I've got no money. I can stay, can't I?
Yeah, I guess it's...
10 o'clock. Switch the TV set off while I lock the door. I don't know what you're doing here. You will have to leave. I'm about to lock the door.
Please, Mrs. Dodds. I've got nowhere to go.
We could give her a bed for the night, Alice, and in
No,
the
I
morning...
won't have it. She's a very bad influence on the other girls. There's no place for drunken rebels here.
Oh.
For God's sake, what are we doing here? They're not perfect. They don't pretend to be. We're supposed to be helping them with their problems.
Oh, we all have problems. And I will thank you to let me deal with Driscoll House in my own way. Now, if you don't mind, I wish to lock the door.
You rotten, cold-hearted bitch. She's killing this place, Wally. It's finished now. She's taken over. What the hell are you doing here?
I'm beginning to wonder that myself. Come on.
And I won't tell you again. Off.
Marty? Jen?
Marty, you're drunk.
It took me a while, but I finally made it. What are you doing?
Putting on the coffee. By the look of you, you need it. Lots of it.
What I need is Jenny. And I can't ever have her. I suppose that makes you very happy, does it?
If you think I'm going to spend the rest of my life apologising for what happened, you've got another think coming. All right? You've been hurt. So we've all been hurt at some stage or another. Now, we can go out and get drunk and hit out at everyone, or we can grow up and get on with our lives.
You don't understand. She was everything. Now I've lost her. Well, what the hell have you lost?
Your father. Remember?
I don't feel too good, Mum.
It's very late. I think you should really turn that off now, dear. Come on, Bobbie. Time to go to sleep.
Piss off. Hey, give him back, Granny.
No, I don't want any arguments. It's very late. Turn it off.
Get knotted, bitch features.
That will do, miss. I've taken all the abuse from you that I'm going to take.
Oh, yeah? And what are you going to do about it? Wash me mouth out with soap?
Not quite, but I will take this.
What do you think you're doing?
Teaching you a lesson.
Like bloody hell.
I don't like doing that, young lady, but quite obviously it's long overdue. Now, get to bed.
You're not me mother. You're not me bloody mother.
And I offered the poor kid $20 and a bed for the night, but she just ran out.
You sure you're not overreacting?
Ah, that woman is alienating everybody. If she was in India, she'd be sacred. I'm sorry, love, I'm just in a foul mood. I've got to get on.
G'day, Mum. Well, couch, table, you're looking at a very happy man.
Oh, no, my drunken son is home again. What brought this on?
Well, guess who just sold his second picture to the Dispatch for $50?
Oh, Paul, you didn't. That's wonderful.
Yep, no more stacking tins of tomato soup or putting price stickers on frozen peas. I'm a free agent.
Steady on. You're not thinking of giving up your job, are you?
Wrong tense, well, I've already done it. As of now, I'm free to become #1 photographer in the land of Oz.
I can't believe this, Paul. I know it wasn't the best job in the world, but at least you could have stuck.
Look, Mum, I hated it. It was a dead end.
I understand that, but why throw it in? You only sold one photo.
I think it's time I turned in, eh?
I'm not asking you to support me, if that's what you mean.
I didn't say you had.
Well, I'll see you both tomorrow, and steady on you two, eh?
Wally, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, no more. I'll drown. I'm all right.
We haven't sat and talked like this since
Dad died. All these years I wanted to get close, but I was hurt. I wanted to lash out at everyone. I never realised how much you were hurting too.
Oh, no.
Well, would you like me to stay, Mum? I could probably get discharged on compassionate grounds, and then I...
See? You don't really want to leave the Navy, do you?
Well, not really, but...
No buts. I mean, you're old enough to make your own decisions. I don't mind you being away as long as we're friends. About Jenny.
Oh, Mum, look, I know you tried to help, and believe me, I'm very grateful. We'll talk about it later, okay?
All right. Friends?
Good friends.
Would you like a cuppa or something?
No, I think it's time we both went to bed.
Yeah, we got pretty serious there for a minute, didn't we?
Well, at least we don't do it too often.
No, thank God. I hope I wasn't too rude to Wally. He shot out of here like a bullet.
Well, I think he understands. He realises you've got your own life to lead.
Yeah, well, so have you too. I mean, it seems a bit stupid, Wally going up to the attic every night when he could just as... Well, look, Mum, you love being together. And he is good company for you.
Don't you think it might be a bit crowded in here with the three of us?
Yeah, well, that's just it. Look, it's got nothing to do with tonight, honest. It's just... It's time I lived on my own. I'm moving out, Mum.
Now, dear. You mustn't cry.
Bugger off, will you? Please.
I didn't mean to be hard on you, Bobbie, and I wasn't trying to mother you, truly.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't have done a worse job than me mum did anyway. She was never out of the TAB long enough to know where I was.
What about your father?
Him. He was too pissed to care. I nicked off when I was 13, and they never even came looking for me. So don't give me that crap about respecting your elders.
But you must have had somebody, Bobbie. Everyone has somebody.
You reckon? Where have you been living, under a rock? I was on the streets when I was 13. And when I couldn't sell myself, I made a few bucks posing for skin pics. It was mostly soft porn stuff.
You poor child. Didn't you have any friends you could turn to?
I had mates, sure. 5 of them OD'd last year. Sparky. She was 15. I reckon she wanted to die. She seemed real happy to go anyway. Sometimes I wish I could too. But you can't cark it on grass. And I never really got into smack.
You're all right now, dear. Come on. You settle down. Close your eyes. Have a rest.
You're real good at this sort of stuff, aren't you? You must have had a few kids of your own.
Yes, dear. Over 20.
Oh, gee. No wonder you need all them vitamins.
There's always room for one more.
Good morning. How are Dr. and Mrs. Collins this morning?
Great, just great.
Sorry we couldn't provide you with a proper honeymoon suite.
Oh, that's all right. We're grateful for any time at all. Aren't we, darling? Hey, come on. Remember what we said?
I know. I suppose I better get back to work now.
Well, there is one thing. It's your engagement ring. I'm afraid we'll have to take it.
But why?
Do you have to?
Yes, I'm afraid so. It's for your own safety more than anything else. I'm sure you understand.
All right.
Sorry, Petra.
I understand, really.
Stevens Parker Hunt Laundry. Adler Harvey Kitchen. Any questions?
Well, since you asked, dear, you didn't mention young Bobbie or me.
You're on remand, Donovan. You two don't have to work. And the name is not dear. It's Miss Ferguson.
Yes, of course, dear. But we'd like to work. No sense sitting in a cell all day. You know what they say? Idle hands are the devil's too.
All right, Donovan. I'll put you down for the laundry. Mitchell?
Not me. I'm not working if I don't have to. And I speak for myself. Nobody owns me.
Don't reckon anyone would want to.
Nobody asked you, Birdsworth. All right, Mitchell. You don't have to work.
Ace, I've got a date with Billy Idol.
Billy who? Has she got a fella in there?
No, dear. I think he's an entertainer or something.
Hey, look who's back.
Well, Roberts. Finally decided to grace us with your presence, did you? You're in the laundry.
Yes, Miss Ferguson. Looks a bit tired, doesn't she?
I don't think she looks well. I reckon she should be under the dock.
What, again? Hey, that's enough. Now get to work or I'll put the lot of you on a charge. Stevens.
What's the problem?
No problem. But keep your eyes and ears open. Apparently our sweet little granny is a friend of the governor. And that could mean trouble.
I sort of like the shushy noise it makes when the steam comes out. It's a lot better than the one at Barnhurst.
I'm sure it is, dear, but it seems a very slow process. Don't you think so, Lizzie? Me? Well, it seems to me that if you could fold the sheet so, then you could fit 2 in the press at the one time, and you'd halve the work.
Oh, yeah. And I could pass them over and Petra could take them away.
Yeah, that's if she's got any strength left.
You're really not very funny, Phyllis.
You know, you're real clever to think of that, Min. I'd never have thought of it. Well, not right off, anyway.
Well, it was Lizzie's idea as much as mine, but it will save time. Now, the dryers.
I like the dryers the way they are.
Why don't you find yourself a quiet little corner and knit yourself a little old man to keep you company?
Oh, good. Someone with a sense of humour. I like that.
Lizzie, we've got a visitor.
Oh, is it Arthur, Mrs. M?
Beauty! I'll do the pickup, unless you plan to streamline that.
Not a very pleasant lady, I'm afraid. And you know, I don't think she likes me.
Hi. If you need any batteries for that, let me know.
Oh, yeah? And how come you're so helpful all of a sudden?
Well, I thought things might be a little strange for you. Round here, you've got to be pretty careful how you pick your friends.
Maybe. Too bad you can't pick your cellmates. If we didn't have Fred, I'd go up the wall.
Fred?
Fred.
Yeah, it's a pretty fancy machine. Got a condenser mic?
2. And you can record in stereo. And there's a pause button.
Tape counter 2.
Sure. Hey, you sussing me out about something?
Oh, I just thought you might like to do a bit of taping for me.
I might. What's in it for me?
Homemade booze strong enough to blow your head off. 4 bottles.
So what's this job?
Tape your cellmate.
Granny, what the hell for? All she talks is crap.
Maybe. But she's a friend of the governor's and you never know when that might be useful. And, keep it between us, will you?
Lady, for 6 bottles of plonk, you've got a deal.
Fine.
Anyway, Mum, I had a talk with the governor yesterday after I saw you. And, well, she made me realise that I owe you a few explanations.
Oh, you don't owe me anything. I'm just so happy to see you.
Well, there's a lot more to it than that. For a start, you've got a daughter-in-law and 3 grandchildren.
3 little babies?
Well, they're not exactly babies, Mum. Kevin's 17, he's about to finish tech this year. Michelle's a year younger and she wants to be a hairdresser.
Hairdresser? My best mate was a hairdresser.
And young Mike, well, he's just a handful. He's into all this rock and roll stuff, you know.
Oh, they're beautiful. And look at Kevin. Looks just like your dad. Oh, I'd give 10 years off my life just to give him one big hug. An old lady like me, I don't suppose I'll ever get out of this rotten joint.
Keep it, Mum. I've got lots more to tell you.
Now hang about. You're saying this woman is riding roughshod over everyone? I can't believe that.
Believe me, the women are getting ready to pack up and move out.
Yeah, well, you'll pull it into shape, won't you, Wally?
Jude, I'd do practically anything for you, you know that, but I know when I'm banging my head against a brick wall. I'm throwing it in, I have to.
You can't do that, Wally. Wally, please don't do that. God, I've worked my guts out for that place. And so have you. Now, we can't just turn our back on all the women that need that house, all the little Susie Driscolls of the world. I won't let you do this, Wally. I won't.
Yes, please. Ask Mr. Charlton to wait. I won't be very long. Come in. Right, thanks.
Bryant's here. She wants to see you.
Yeah, you're damn right I would. What the hell is going on at Driscoll, and how could you let it happen?
Oh, steady, Judy. In the first place, I have no authority to interfere, and in the second place, aren't you underestimating Wally?
Like hell I am. He's thinking of chucking the whole thing in. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I'll bet you didn't.
That'll do, Bryant.
It's all right, Mrs. Power. Judy, if there was something I could do, I would. Now, if you'll just calm down, at least we can talk about it.
I'm sorry. It's just I've got every penny I ever had tied up in that house. I mean, surely that gives me some rights.
The department knows that. That's why they've authorized me to, well, the fact is they want to buy the house.
What?
They're prepared to give you a 20% profit on what you paid for the place. They think they're being very generous.
Oh, they do they? Well, you can tell the department from me that I don't sell out that easily. Now, I am going to beat this rap. I don't know how, but I am going to beat it. And when I do, I want my job and my house back. And if the department doesn't like it, they can shove it.
And he's a really successful businessman. He has his own hardware store.
Oh, geez, Lizzie, reckon you'll have a real nice room of your own when you go and live with them.
What are you on about? Who said I'm going to live with him anyhow?
But he has asked you, hasn't he, Lizzie?
Of course he has, but we haven't decided anything yet. We have more important things to talk about.
Doesn't she ever take that thing off her head? Her name's Bobbie, isn't it?
Yeah. I reckon little Maxie was an angel compared to her.
I'd introduce you, dear, but she's not very amiable. Oh, I've met kids like her before. Tough nuts to crack. But once you get through the shell, they're quite sweet inside.
Lizzie, what's that all about?
God, I reckon they're going to put the bite on us again. Ripper! Let's see. Bloody awful looking slop. I need to get out of here to get a decent meal.
Oh, well, I'll eat yours if you don't want it, Lizzie. I like me tucker.
Never mind your stomach. It's your head I need. Hey, I've got a plan to get rid of that Sonia and the freak for good and all.
Oh, yeah? What you going to do, Lizzie?
Get rid of their stooges. And then they won't have anyone to do their dirty work for them.
Oh, hey, I've seen the Three Stooges on telly. Geez, they whack each other round, don't they?
That's the whole idea. We get them and you fix them one at a time.
Me? Lizzie, you seen what I done last time. I don't want to hurt no one else. People don't like me when I hurt them.
You don't have to go hell for leather. It'll be a piece of cake.
Oh, I don't know, Lizzie. Look how I hurt poor little Pix and I wasn't even trying. Can't you find someone else?
There is no one else. We're your mates. Now, if we don't fix Sonia and the freak, we might as well lie down and let them stomp all over us.
Sure wouldn't like that. That Miss Ferguson's a big lady, isn't she?
Are you going to help us or not?
Well, never let me mates down.
Yeah, well, listen while I tell you my plan. And we're going to wipe the floor with them.
A little late for lunch, aren't you?
Well, I thought with a bit of luck it might be all gone by the time I got there.
You got something for me?
I hadn't forgotten.
Neither had I. Thought we agreed on 60%.
That is 60%. I told you the money would dry up sooner or later.
For both of us or just for me?
See for yourself. Can't get blood out of a stone.
Don't you believe it, Stevens? Because that's what you're going to have to do.
I don't believe that woman. I reckon we should teach her a lesson. We could wreck this joint.
Well, at least a room. Gee, she asked for it.
Hang on. Before you start the revolution, would you mind telling me what it's all about?
Well, Julie's been picked up by the cops. It's breaking and entering.
Oh, hell.
And that stinking bitch wouldn't go bail for her. Lousy $50.
Take it easy now. Where is Mrs. Dodds now?
Well, she's out.
Probably mugging a pensioner, the bitch. Oh, look, Wally, you got to do something. Or we will.
All right, calm down. Look, first thing we got to do is get Jilly out now. Let's see what I've got here. $20, $25, $26.
We'll all chip in for the rest, but that's not going to fix things, Wal. Next time it could be Jody or me. Then what?
You're right. I'll talk to the department. Lay it on the line.
About bloody time.
Well, you should have heard her. The way she carried on, you'd think I killed her.
See what I mean? Just bull, the whole lot of it.
I wouldn't say that.
The way she carried on, you'd think...
Depends on how much you hear. Meanings change so easily.
I killed her.
Hey, that's great.
Now, all we need's another player to make copies of a tape and edit. We're in business.
You going to use it against Granny?
Maybe, maybe not. I did it to test you, Bobbie.
Oh, yeah? And how'd I do?
You passed with flying colours. I'm sure I can find lots of things for you to do.
Okay. But first off, how about my booze?
Okay, Mitchell, get on your feet and clean up this mess.
Hey, what's the big idea?
You answer me when I speak, or I'll smash that thing into so many pieces you'll need a computer to fix it.
Yeah? You try and I'll smash your teeth in, you bloody great bull dyke.
Okay, Mitchell. We'll see what the governor's got to say about that little outburst. Now, come on.
Me, you bitch. Let's go.
Something wrong, Miss Ferguson?
Yeah, your foul-mouthed little friend here is going to the governor. And you can clean up the mess while she's gone.
If I was you, Miss Ferguson, I'd be a little more gentle. I'm sure Mrs. Reynolds would be most upset to hear that one of her officers was rough-handling a prisoner.
All right, Mitchell. You're on a charge. Now clean the mess up.
It shouldn't take us long, dear.
Oh, who asked Judy to interfere? I don't need anybody's help.
I just feel so damn useless stuck in here.
Well, isn't there something Wally can do?
Oh, I reckon it's a bloody disgrace. That rotten mongrel Dodds will bugger everything up at Driscoll House, and poor old Wally, he'll be the scapegoat. Hey, hang on a tick, I've forgotten his smokes. G'day, Phil. You been talking to Miss Ferguson?
What's it to you?
Nothing, only she wants to see you, and she said if I saw you to tell you.
Me? What for?
I don't know, but she wants to see you straight away in the shower blocks.
Why would the freak send you with a message?
All right, don't go. It's no skin off my nose, only don't blame me if she rouses on you.
Oh, okay.
What's your hurry, huh? I didn't want to keep you waiting. Lizzie said you wanted to see me.
Did she now? And did she happen to say where?
Yeah, in the shower block.
Well, then that's where you better go, isn't it?
Well, what for?
I'd say the Birdsworth was setting you up, Hunt. But what we have to find out is why. Where was Parker when she spoke to you?
Well, she wasn't in the rec room.
Then I'd say it's Parker who wants to see you. You better not keep her waiting.
Ian, Parker, you got to be kidding. She'll kill me.
Oh, no. If anyone gets hurt this time, it'll be Parker. Now, you stall her. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Get moving.
Quick, now's our chance. Phyllis is on her way to the shower block.
Now? Oh, geez, Lizzie, I thought you'd give me a couple of days to sort of work up to it.
We haven't got a couple of days. If we don't do it now, we mightn't get another chance.
No, Lizzie. I've already hurt Phyllis enough already, and I landed myself in the pound. I don't want no more trouble.
Well, there's going to be trouble if the freaking Phyllis find out that I've been playing silly buggers.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't want you getting into any strife.
Well, hurry it up and do it now.
Okay.
Look, I don't mean to be rude, Mr. Wallace, but I did come here on official prison business. And so far I've been bombarded with nothing but complaints about the halfway house.
This is an emergency. I haven't got time for red tape.
I'm afraid it is my fault. When Wally phoned and said there was trouble at the house, I did mention that you were on your way here.
Trouble. Yes, that word again. Well, so far I've heard nothing but a few petty complaints about a woman who has our approval to get Driscoll House running on an acceptable level again.
Does acceptable mean empty? Because right now, the very women we're trying to help, they're wanting to pack up and move out. Now, Judy Bryant,
Judy Bryant was a criminal who couldn't keep that house under control. Now, are you telling me that those women would rather move back onto the streets than have a little order and discipline in their lives.
I'm telling you that we should be helping those women, not treating them like delinquents who need a caning. Alice Dodds has not got the first conception of how to deal with those women with understanding and compassion, the sort of things needed to run a Driscoll house.
Alice Dodds came to us very highly recommended.
I think Wally means...
I know what he means. Now, Mr. Wallace, when you have some concrete evidence that Mrs. Dodds is overstepping her authority, then I may consider your report.
And in the meantime, we lose all the women who need us.
I don't see it that way.
I don't think you see it at all.
Gee, Cass, you sort of crept up on me.
Look, I don't like hurting people, Phyllis.
Oh, neither do I, Cass. I reckon you and I have got a lot in common. I reckon we should talk about it, don't you?
Yeah, that'd be real nice, but I've got to be quick.
Look, I didn't want to do those things. Sonia made me do them. She would have got me if I hadn't.
I don't want to hurt you,
Cass, Miss Ferguson!
I wasn't doing nothing.
Hold it.
I'm not going no place, Miss Ferguson.
I know you're not. You've got a lot to learn, Parker. Here. First, Parker, never kill a screw. Because there's always a lot of other screws just waiting to teach you a lesson. Like this.
To give me roses, I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.